Some people build trails. Others assume they were built for them. When I inherited my grandfather's land, a quiet, forested stretch outside the city, I didn't know it came with an invisible footpath of entitlement carved through it. But Karen did. The property itself is beautiful. 20 acres of mostly untouched woodland, with old pine, a babbling creek, and a narrow dirt path that cuts across the northern slope. My grandfather used to walk it for morning meditation. After he passed, I cleared the brush, planted some ferns, and put up a small cabin where I could write, rest, and feel the silence. I was warned, though. A neighbor once said, "You might want to check where the HOA boundary ends. They've gotten real cozy using your land." I didn't understand what he meant until one Saturday morning, while sipping coffee on my porch, I saw her. A woman in full Lululemon hiking gear, mirrored sunglasses, and that signature HOA confidence. She marched straight through my land, on the path, with a group of other trail walkers behind her like suburban ducklings. She didn't wave. She didn't slow. She didn't even look at the cabin. I called out, "Excuse me, this is private property." She paused, looked at me like I was the trespasser. "I've been walking this trail for years," she said flatly. "It connects the community trail system." I stepped forward. "It runs through my land. This isn't part of the community." She smirked. "That's not what our map says." Then she walked off, leaving footprints and attitude behind her. I went straight to the county registry. Sure enough, the land had been privately owned for 3 generations. The HOA trail maps were old, inaccurate, and unofficial. There had never been any easement, no deal, no shared right-of-way. The only thing connecting their trails to mine was their assumption. I gave them a week to stop. They didn't. Karen returned 3 days later, leading a small hiking group like a personal tour guide. When I confronted her, she pulled out a laminated HOA map and waved it like a badge. "This entire trail network," she declared, "is for the wellness of the community. You don't own nature." "I don't," I replied, "but I do own this plot. And you're trespassing." She scoffed and walked off again. So I built a fence. Not a tall one, not barbed, just a sturdy split-rail fence right where the property line began. Clear, legal, and respectful. I even posted a sign, "Private property, no trespassing." The next morning, the real show began. I woke up to banging on the gate and shouting. Karen, red-faced, flailing, yelling that I'd destroyed a vital community asset. Behind her were 2 other HOA members, their faces unsure. "You can't just fence off access to our trail. It's not your trail. This is retaliation. You'll hear from our lawyers." "I'd love to," I said. "So will my land deed." Then she screamed, "I'll have you removed." That's when I realized something important. Karen didn't just believe the trail was hers. She believed everything was. If she'd used it, it belonged to her. I calmly went back inside and started documenting everything. Emails came first, letters next, all from the HOA, dripping with legal-sounding fluff and barely veiled threats. They claimed I was violating community flow, obstructing communal passage, and creating unnecessary disruption. They even demanded I tear down the fence or face penalties. So I responded with a certified letter, a map, a photo of the trespassing signs, and a copy of the county's record confirming my ownership. Silence. Until the petition arrived. Karen had rallied residents to demand public right-of-way through legacy property. She stapled it to my cabin door. It had 8 signatures. 3 were misspelled. I smiled and called my attorney. Her name was Elise. Sharp, patient, and deeply amused. She filed a cease and desist with the HOA, then a formal trespassing notice. Then she contacted the county about illegal trail maps being circulated without consent. Karen, in the meantime, went nuclear. She started posting about me on a community Facebook group, calling me territorial, anti-nature, unstable. She even claimed I had installed motion-triggered speakers that blared at hikers. I didn't, but I made a note of it. Then she escalated to showing up with a witness to demand I let her pass. That day, I had my drone up, filming the fence for inspection records. It caught the whole interaction. Her yelling, her shaking the gate, her throwing a pine cone at the camera. It went viral. on a subreddit called r/fence justice. The title? HOA Karen goes feral when a guy fences off his own land. The backlash was instant. Strangers from across the country flooded her page. Residents began asking questions. One neighbor emailed me an apology. Another offered to help repaint the fence. Then the HOA got a call from the county. Apparently, their trail brochures had been misrepresenting the path for years. Liability became a concern. Legal exposure. And soon, Karen's own board voted to remove her from any position involving land use. The next time I saw her, she was standing at the fence, silently staring at the private property sign like it had personally betrayed her. I walked out and waved. She turned away. I've since upgraded the fence, added a gate with a code for friends, put up a trail camera. And yes, I sometimes play peaceful music through a solar speaker, just loud enough to be heard on the HOA side. Not to provoke, to remind. Because the lesson here isn't just about land. It's about assumption. Assume long enough, loud enough, and without challenge, and you start believing the world owes you access. But not this time. This time, the line was drawn, literally, and it's still standing.